Welcome to the Heart of a Viking. This channel offers elementary art lessons taught by Mrs. Minto from the Cape Henlopen School District in Delaware. I look forward to virtually creating with you. There are new lessons posted weekly. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss a single one. So go grab your art supplies and your thinking caps and let's begin. Well, welcome back. So we're going to be working on the left side of our paper today, and over here it's a lot more free. There are only a couple of rules that we have to follow. First, we're going to use that entire top space as the sky or anything that was touching the horizon way back in the distance. So I'm going to start with a row of mountains, a mountain ridge back here, and I'm putting some mountains behind each other. Some of them are tall, some of them are smaller. Whenever you're drawing mountains, the best thing you can do is be unpredictable. So make them different shapes, different sizes, and build them on each other, making some overlapping mountains too. Next, I'm going to go ahead and add like a city skyline that's way back in the distance as well. So right in front of these mountains, I'm going to use my ruler so I stay nice and straight and make some city buildings that are way back there as well. Okay, so next I'm going to go ahead and add a sidewalk to the left side of my road so that people can walk or stand and look at the water that's going to be there soon. So I'm starting about an inch over from the bottom, and I'm going to connect that line to the vanishing point. So about an inch over, connecting that line to the vanishing point. Perfect. Then I'm going to use my ruler perfectly straight across, perfectly horizontal. Remember, line up the short end of your ruler with the left or the right side of your paper. And I'm going to do the same thing I did with my lines that are going up my road. I'm going to keep them close together as I am further away. And then as I get closer and closer to the bottom edge of the paper, I allow a little more space to get created between these cement blocks. Okay, next I think I'm going to go ahead and add a railing, like a fence or like something where people can't fall into this water. So again, I'm starting about an inch over from the bottom at the bottom here, and then maybe 2 inches, and each time it goes back and touches the vanishing point. Now, here's the tricky part. These lines, to make this look like a fence and fence posts, I need these little lines I'm making now to be totally vertical, straight up and down. Look at that ruler. That bottom edge close to the 12 is lined up perfectly with the bottom edge of my paper. Yours has to be too. I know it seems weird, I know it seems wonky, but that's just the way it has to be to make it look like this is standing up and it didn't fall over. If these lines are any kind of diagonal, it will look like your fence has fallen over. There it is. Super duper. So I'm just going to go back. I'm going to double up some of these lines, add a few more, but that's the main premise of drawing a fence. Alright, so now I'm going to add just a few things on this left side. I want this to be water, so it was a good thing I put that railing there so nobody falls in the water, right? So I'm adding just some like ripples that are in the water. This must be a little bit of a windy day. That's pretty ripply. Make sure that I put some ripples behind the fence as well because there'd be water just past there. Perfect. And then I think I'm going to put some rocks that are right in the front, kind of down below here, just, you know, below the sidewalk and the road down here, some big boulders. And maybe some cute little seagulls as well. Okay, Okay, so I think my drawing is finally complete and I am ready to start adding some color. I'm going to be using these watercolor pencils. I love these guys. I have them here at the art room. If you don't have these, you can use color pencils, you can use watercolor paints, you can use whatever art supply you have to color this in, but I'm going to use watercolor pencils. So the way that they work is you color with them and then you paint over them with clean water. I like to color my entire picture first, and then I like to go back and paint everything. The only thing you have to remember is whenever you're doing the painting, you have to rinse out your brush between colors just like you do when you're painting with other styles of paint. So I just need to make sure that I do that as well. All right, so I'm just gonna be coloring here. I'm gonna fast forward it so you don't have to watch me coloring forever and ever. Here we go. Okay, so now you're gonna see me get the roller back out because anytime that I want to retrace one of the lines that I originally drew with a roller, I'm going to use my roller again to redraw the line. It would be very shaky or silly of me to use a freehand approach when tracing lines that I had used a ruler in the first place to make. So just keep that in the back of your mind if you're doing any tracing. You can even trace with Sharpie if you prefer. Tracing with a permanent marker might look really nice for some of these pieces here. So you can definitely trace with anything you want, and whatever you do, if you drew it with a ruler in the first place, make sure you line your ruler back up and retrace those lines using a ruler again. Okay, so I'm going to finish up with my little seagulls here. I had accidentally colored over them when I was painting my water in. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and put this aside, and we're going to return back to this whenever I see you next time. So whenever you're done with all of your coloring, if you are using anything like watercolor pencils, you can go ahead and put this aside, save it for next time, and whenever we return, we will finish up with the watercolor painting part. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here next time at the Heart of a Viking.